Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my horror movie marathon. And, well, I know that's not obvious based on what I'm wearing, but tonight I'm going to be reviewing Van Helsing. This was a movie that kind of flew under my radar for a while, but the premise alone was very cool. Um, like I was one of those people who always liked movies like Freddy vs. Jason or even like Batman v Superman that came out relatively recently. So I've always liked those kind of like mashup films. And when I kind of found out that this movie existed and it basically crammed in Van Helsing, Count Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, um, and they even have a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde in there. I just immediately kind of started looking for this, and eventually it did pop up on Netflix. And I think I watched it the first day that it dropped. So, without further ado, like the movie itself was what no I think it was awesome. Yeah, there was some kind of cheesy kind of dialogue, but like the movie came out in 2004, I believe. um I personally think that Hugh Jackman does great. Kate Beckinsale is okay in this film. David Wenham is all right as like the friar, who accompanies Van Helsing to take down Dracula. The guy who plays Dracula is okay. And like Frankenstein's monster is all right. Victor Frankenstein only shows up in like the only shows up in the opening sequence that uh not as a nice touch. They shot the opening sequence in black and white, and the rest of the film is in color. I thought that was pretty cool. Like as an homage to like the old Universal monsters movies, which that's exactly what this film is, like an homage and tribute to the original Universal monsters. Since like they have Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and it's a bit of an homage to the old mashup films like House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula. I still need to see those, but I'll eventually cover those once I do see them. Um, the action scenes are fantastic. Like the climactic scene of Dracula and Van Helsing fighting is spectacular. Like it's exactly the kind of like cheesy action set piece that I like to watch. Like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Freddy and Jason's final fight in that movie where like they're at Camp Crystal Lake, where this one is at Dracula's castle. Um, Frankenstein's monster is awesome in this film. He's actually almost like a MacGuffin, kind of, in that Dracula kind of needs him to perfect his plan of resurrecting all of his undead vampire children. Um, the only thing that I don't really like, I mean, if you can even call it, if you can call like a negative, is that they don't have like the original Wolfman from like the original films, like Larry Talbot, I believe his name is. They didn't exactly have him in the film. What they did have is this like mindless wolf monster who ends up infecting Kate Beckinsale's character. Um, I'm sorry, she doesn't infect Kate Beckinsale's character. So Kate Beckinsale in the movie has a brother who gets infected, becomes the Wolfman, and basically becomes Dracula's slave for a while. And then Van Helsing kills him, right? So I thought it would have been cooler if Dracula had like an actual sort of like second in command henchman, who was Larry Talbot. But that's just me. But aside from that, like the movie's still great. I mean, it's an awesome action horror like popcorn flick. And like even the inclusion of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as basically being like almost like a Hulk-like villain. He's a villain who's basically kind of like the Hulk in this movie, where like Mr. Hyde is like a huge CGI monster. Which I guess you could say that like that's the only other negative about this film, that the CGI it kind of shows its age as an early 2000s film. I mean, this came out just a year after Freddy vs. Jason, and we all know that the CGI in that was awful. But for what it's worth, the CGI isn't overshadowed by the awesome action sequences and just the cool characters of Van Helsing. Like, basically, they made Van Helsing into a superhero in this film. Or, as I've seen some other people say, like, this iteration of Van Helsing is kind of more based on Solomon Kane, which I'm okay with that. But all in all, this is a great film. I could see this as being like an instant classic movie. Like, I still think that the good outweighs the bad by a mile in this movie. Like, you get to see Van Helsing duke it out with Dracula and the Wolfman, and even Jekyll and Hyde, and he teams up with Frankenstein's monster. What more do you want in this film? But I figured that since I was covering a lot of the Universal monster movies, I thought that I might as well cover this one. So, great movie overall, and I highly recommend this as being part of anyone's Halloween list. But that's it for this review, and I will see you guys in another one tomorrow. Good night.